Well, good evening and welcome back to Rangers Radio. This post-match show, Rangers 2, Kilmarnock nothing. Joining myself, Fox, here on the panel is the one and only Fox. Fox, thoughts?
Overall, very happy with the result. Thought we played well in spells in the games. Pleased to see us shooting for outside the box which I think the lassie Linda, who was on the pre-match show, had asked for. So all in all, very pleased with the result and a decent performance.
We didn't start brilliantly, but we were way into the game. A bit disappointed with the mere chances in the first half. But the second half, I've got to say, we moved them all over the pitch, mate, and it was 2-0, and it could have been 3, 4 or 5, if we're being honest. Blocks, kicked off the line, missed opportunities. We done okay. We've got to be reasonably pleased with that. We gave them a bit of a doing. I don't think the score reflected how we performed, Fox, if I'm being honest.
No, we were totally dominant throughout the game. I don't think your goalkeeper had really a save to make, did he? That I can remember.
Can't remember. He came for a couple of crosses, that's about it. And we broke a record. The boys with the league, first 5 league games of the season, no goals conceded. It's a Rangers record, I believe. Our ties with the Iron Curtain defender, 49-51. You remember fondly.
I'm very pleased the way the one unit that is really working well for us for the start of the season has been the defence. It's been rock solid. Golson and Balogun started it off, and then Hollanders came in, and we've been just as good with the replacement from one to the other. I think Connor Goldson was the best man in the park today. That would have been my man in the match. I don't know what you think of that.
I was between him and Kent, mate. I might have just went with Kent with the goal. I mean, they gave it a Roth, or is that his name, Roth? Roth or Roof or whatever, but they gave it to him. So, no, for me, Golson, Kent, that was my two were best performance.
I thought his passing was superb. Some of the long balls, cross part balls that he had whipped across in the first half to Barisic, and in the second half he done the same. And I thought he was absolutely excellent. I don't think he gave a ball away in the whole game, and he was definitely my man in the match. I know other people will pick the flair players like Kent, but Goldson I thought was a rock.
As much as we were critical last week, mate, we done a lot of things wrong. I think all our players done okay today. I thought, I've got to be honest, no criticisms. Even my mate Parker at times done some good stuff, you know. Fox?
He was a pleasant surprise, especially in the second half. He seemed to be more in the game, and it was a pleasing afternoon for the boy Barker.
All right, so we'll get some thoughts. Some great calls before the show. So if we want to open up the lines, what's the number, brah?
It's 0141 356 1972, and if you let it ring for a couple of seconds, we'll bring you into the call. We'll call you straight back.
Or join us at Skype at rangersradio.online. We brought in the old school blues, manning up the technicals because the executive producer is performing today. We've been joined by JFK.
Evening, afternoon, JFK. Guys, or evening it is now. Yeah, how you doing, Fox? How you doing, Oxshire?
Oh, don't know if you
fine, Jimmy.
Was that you got your mates to call in before the show?
I didn't listen to the show. Was there a lot phoned in? I
was busy. A couple. Oh, I agreed with JFK. I agreed. Oh, I said,
he listened to it all. He listened to it.
I've got my friends to build, and I just paid the guys to come on. They told me they done all right.
Well, you got one of the sexes wrong. It was guys and girls.
Well, there you are. So I didn't even know there. There you are.
A groupie.
A groupie. I agree with a lot you said there. I had 3 man of the match was Kent Goldson, and I thought Davis had a good game as well.
Controlled it, didn't he? He controlled it.
He did, mate. Barker surprised me. Ryan Jack had no a bad game. But it was as usual turgid football for a team that come to Ibrox, guys.
Can I ask you a question, JFK? We've watched a lot of football. We've watched a lot of football we've got more years behind us than we've got in front of us, sadly, right?
True.
We have,
True.
right? And where is this getting these teams? Because I looked to the league table, right? And when you look at the league table, they're coming out. They're playing for a point. Livingston, Kilmarnock, they're hoping to get a point. So they've played 9 games between the two of them. Yeah, and they've got 4 points.
Yeah, saw that this morning, mate.
What's that all about?
It's shocking, mate. I mean, I said to you last week about the reaction for the assistant manager of Livingston punching the air after playing anti-football like that against us for 90 minutes and getting a point. You thought he'd won something, apart from just a rotten point. And Kilmarnock done it today again. They just set their stall out to waste it. I was surprised.
4-5-1.
It was a 4-5-1, mate. The last week it was a 5-4-1. This week it was a 4-5-1. So, we done our best first half to try and break it down. I'm like Fox here. I'm pleased to see, but at least we were having a dig. The shot for Barker was a good shot. The one for Ryan Kent, the goalkeeper,
good save.
Fantastic.
Good
Great save, mate.
Mm-hmm.
But, a great 3 points. I didn't see any failures the other day. I'd like to have seen Greg Stewart maybe on a wee bit earlier. No, as soon as we made it 2, brought him on. But he got his wee 5 minutes at the end. The gaffer made the right substitutions, I thought, today.
Okay, mate. I'll cut across you. We've got a couple of callers. George,
Okay.
I'll come right back to you. George AK, yeah?
No bother.
All right. Yeah. Evening caller.
Hello.
Hello.
What do you think about Celtic, the coronavirus?
Well, we're here to talk about the match. Did you watch the game?
Gone, mate, gone.
All right, okay. George, you can, you come, bruh.
All right, lads.
Yeah,
Hey,
you
George.
sound a bit,
Okay,
you sound a bit perked. You've either had a blue surprise and a blue pill. What is it?
I fucked my back a wee bit, mate.
All right, okay. How'd you do that?
Keep
I told
bending
you
my
to
knees.
keep
I
them-
bend down, he picks up.
All right, what do they call that? Alter boy knee?
Not at all. I was saying I thought they watched the game from start to finish. I thought it was like a training game. You want to see
Aye, fair comment, mate. Fair comment. I'll be interested to see what the stats are, mate. Yes,
I think Borna Barisic is getting better every game he plays. I really do.
I don't think he started. I don't think he started great. Good point for you, George. 75% possession, 26 shots, 10 in target, 9 corners.
Shooting from outside the box and all. That was good, wasn't it?
Aye.
And Barker, that surprised me, I must admit. I ended up getting him around the applause. I was like, my God, man, it must be because there's no crowd there.
I've always been a big fan, as you know.
I know. You love him. All right, yeah, you, mate.
I'm all right, George. Aye, the biggest fan of Barker's made to eat his words today, yeah.
I know.
He done all right. He done all right, mate.
No, I mean, his ball's not going.
He done all right. Him and
Aye, done well.
Particularly in the second half, I think all our players played well. JFK, I get your point about Davis. He was trying to be he's just got that wee bit more forward pass that Kamara's got. So hopefully Kamara, they're talking and speaking. You see, you're a great player, but you just need one more string to your bow.
Aye. Stephen Davis strolled through the game, and I think it was Fox. He'd be bossed the 90 minutes. Obviously the first half is my word, the news turgid. It was difficult to watch at times. A team trying to play against you like that. When you're trying to. Obviously, they're not there to be cannon fodder and that, but goodness sake, have a go. But they didn't. But Stephen Davis bossed the game. I thought he was good. Please, Barisic, I kind of disagree with Barisic to the end. I thought a couple of his crosses were a bit wayward. He just didn't get the ping that he'd had the rest of the game. But that's my only criticism of the whole 90 minutes. But it was a good 3 points, mate. And the first half didn't look as if we were going to break them down, and that's frustrating. And you said it yourself. No, this is going to happen every time we play these teams that's down there, and it's horrible to watch. It's really, really horrible to watch.
I think a lot of Bears watching that would have thought, oh, here we go again after the first half, Jimmy. But we did play decent in spells in the first half. And,
Aye.
you know.
On you go, mate. No, sorry. I agree with you, aye.
I was just saying, we played decent in spells.
Yeah.
I thought we shifted the ball quite well. Again, we had a couple of pops for outside the box. And
good effort by Kent, Fox.
But the thing, but you just keep thinking in the back of your mind, we've seen this film before, you know. But fair play to the team, they settled down even better in the second half. And Kilmarnock were never, ever in the game, mate. Never.
Oh, you're right.
I was disappointed in them. I actually thought they'd had a go today. But this is the new Scottish football, this 10 men behind the ball playing against Rangers, and it's boring to watch.
Do you know something, Fox? I knew they were going to play that way as soon as you left that big centre forward on the bench. What's his name? Mambla Bam or something?
I tell you, just answer me this, GFK. I don't want to go on about the referee because I'm sure Bridge will let us know on Monday, but how was that guy no booked? That Goldstein sidestepped him and he just deliberately pulled his jersey. Aye. It's a booking. Doesn't matter if you're on the park for 90 seconds or 90 minutes. It's a booking. And
the one when was it Power turned his back on Ryan Kenton and decked him like a wrestler, and the referee gave a free kick to Power.
I know.
You know, just outside the box, you know, and that's what we're up against. Clancy was walking about laughing with the Kilmarnock players, you know. It's disgusting. Well, obviously the Bridge man, he's a referee pundit. He'll be into
it. He's a referee.
Oh, aye. But I agree with what Fox said there. We controlled it from start to finish, and it did look at one point as if it was going to be the same old. We played some really nice football in the first half. Second half, we were even better. But as soon as I saw that big, I'm not even put his name up. I can't remember, but he bossed their game against the puddle drinkers.
Well, he looked poor in that game, even though he was only a cameo, mate.
Aye, but what I'm saying is they weren't playing anybody up front that would look as if they were going to hurt us. They just came out intentionally to play 4 and 5.
Jimmy, was that the one? See that guy you're talking about? Is that the one that Nathan Parson came on and done a brilliant tackle?
Aye.
I mean, that tackle was a cracker, wasn't it? Because he was going through.
Yep.
I mean, the wee boy looks assured, doesn't he?
Oh, he looks a player.
Mate. That was great, Fox. You some thoughts on that? Patterson getting on. What did you mention to me earlier about? You know, you said him getting on and what's happening with the youths in the Scotland squad.
Well, we were talking about this during the week about whether it was any good having a youth side. We've got, I think, 6 or 7 young players in the Scotland under 21 pool, so we must be doing something right up there. They're the best. We've got the best academy in Scotland without a doubt. And Nathan Patterson, if and when he makes the breakthrough and challenges Tav seriously, I think it'll be a big boost to the whole academy.
Well, it's a boost to Snow, mate. He's running about the first team. He's getting minutes on his belt. All right, it was only 10 minutes, roughly 10 minutes, but it's still good. He's still very, very young, and fair play to the boy. May put his elbow, and if we get it right, we could have a plumber on GFK.
Well, definitely. You know that my feelings on Patterson. You know, I think I've said before, I thought he was worth a go and place a big Tavernier a couple of weeks ago, only for the sake as a chasing Tav. You know, to make him realise that the number one spot for your jersey here isn't yours. I'm challenging for it. And he looks a decent player. His reading of the game is good. So it's for me, he's an able deputy for Tav. And let's hope the gaffer gives him more game time out here, because I'm really impressed with him. Really, really impressed with him.
At the right time.
At the right time.
If people want to join us, give their thoughts on the victory. The number's 0141 356 1972. Or join us at Skype at rangersradio.online. We brought in the call, the old school blue.
And George, we have been joined by another George.
Logan.
How we doing, George?
Boys, all right?
Hey, George.
Mate.
All right, George. Hi, good 3 points today, boys. A lot of positives to take for the game. You asked the question a wee minute ago, Rocks, what do these teams get out of this? See, to be honest, Rocks, I think it was
think it was Jimmy's always said in the past, these teams didn't bother if they get a 1-0 defeat against St Mirren and Hamilton and things like that. Their season's made up of getting a point against Rangers and things, so it's always got to be hard for us to break them down. Jimmy was saying about their coach last week punching the air and all that. That's great for them to get a point against us, but that's their level. Ox, try to shut teams down and get a point against Rangers. That's what matters. But we've broke them down today. We've got the 3 points. We can march on now. We actually look like a pretty decent team today. Players missing and things like that. So I think we can build on this.
I think it's about now. Obviously, it heads on to next week's game, and it's about taking another 3 points, and then we move into the break. Yeah, we'd be disappointed, but that'll be 3 games out the. If we win next week, George, that'll be 3 away games, 2 in a plastic pitch, and 1 away at Pittodrie, and we'll have took 16 out of 18 points. It's still a decent start, mate.
You said the other night there about taking the points. You've got to take the points. Got the points today, and then move on to next week. We can speak about the game today, how we played, good, bad, and different. I think we take out the positives for the game. A lot of guys, like Jimmy said there, maybe doing a wee bit more game time and things like that. Guys maybe just not showed up at so far, and they're maybe getting a wee bit of chance now. So I'm quite happy how we're moving forward now. I really am.
Everybody, I've got to be honest with you. I think that I felt a bit of negativity before the show. No, just because I think Bridgman was still in shock because of the Morelos thing. Well, he's going to go. Players will come and go all the time, and as I've been saying, George, for a while, fans' favourites, people will come and go, mate. And if financially viable for their club to move on to the next level, get even better, I'm all for it, mate.
Totally. That's the way we've got to build their team, Ox. That's where we want to be. If we can bring these players in, find wee games and make that a wee bit extra cash, Ox. The thing is, we'll be the ones that's always here, Ox. These guys come in the day, a job for them, we appreciate it. But they're no Rangers, Ox. We're Rangers at the end of the day. We want our club progressing all the time. And if that means letting these guys go and move on, that's what it's all about for us.
Who was the players that shone for you today, George?
I think Davis played well today. Ox, I really thought he had a really good game. A lot of folks on his back, but I thought Barker done a bit in the game as well.
Credit where it's due, mate. Credit where it's due.
That's what I'm saying. Ox, we bring these guys in, Ox, and they're doing it against these teams for Hibs and things like that. So I think we should be able to do it for us against these teams anyway. And I thought Barker played well. Davis played well. I thought it was good. Solid performances right across the team, Ox, and that's what you want. That's what you want. Guys coming on the park, off the bench and making a wee bit of difference as well. That's what you want, Ox. The new guys start to settle in. So it's all for me. It's all positive, Ox. Last week's out the hangman now, and it's all positive for us now.
JFK, I didn't think last week. It's gone, but I didn't think anybody played great. I thought Goldstein was one of our best players. But this week, I thought everybody played okay. I've got to be honest with you.
Aye, there wasn't a bad player in the park. They all performed to the level that they know they've got. There was no bad errors in the game, and it was pleasing to see Barker. I know we've all got a critique about him, but I mean he's wearing the blue and he played really well today, especially second half. And as I said, Stephen Davis, but there wasn't a player at fault today. I mean, that's us now going into this. Then we're going on to playing another surface next week against Hamilton. And that'll be us played the bottom 6. And hopefully we can surpass the record. I mean, that was us 1930. 5 clean sheets was the last time we'd ever done that. So that looks good. We should be able to hopefully beat Hamilton on their rubbish carpet park next week. And then that takes us into the international break. And we'll see what happens elsewhere, you know. But I'm all pass marks for me. All 6 7s and then a couple of 8s and 9s for me today, mate. I'm really pleased. A good 3 points, a hard fought 3 points for another team that wants to play anti-football, mate.
We took the country up, George, and it's on you go, Fox.
What did you think of the 2 new boys, guys? I think Ruth does look as though he's badly out of match practice.
Aye.
And Itten still feeling his way into the game. Do you think the international break coming up will suit Rangers to get these 2 boys up to speed?
I would agree with that.
I thought it was a good finish by Ruth.
It was.
I don't know whether this is not having a go at Halfie, but it's maybe not the kind of goal Halfie would have scored. Maybe it's the kind of goal that Ryan Kent would have scored. I thought Itten was willing and the Sunny's line play was okay. But overall, I would say that it was good for them to get the minutes, and I'll no days any harm, Fox, and I agree with what you said about Ruth or Roth. Jimmy Bell. Oh.
I didn't understand the manager playing him out on the right hand side in the first half. I don't know what he was doing there, but he looked a lot better when he was more central in the second half, I thought.
Yeah.
Here. So give us a call, give us your thoughts. 0141 356 1972 or join us at Skype at rangersradio.online. Good point, Fox. GFK.
I mean, I was a bit disappointed to see Itten playing in that position, and I thought he was kind of being wasted. But overall, in the second half, once he started to get into the middle, he showed that he's got a good bit of skill and he puts his sail about. It'd been good to see Roof score that header one to hit off the post type stroke bar, you know. But the two of them performed well. Roof took his goal really well. And I'm happy with their performance. And I agree with Fox's at saying that they need a wee bit of game time. And obviously, they'll play next week, I would imagine. And then it's a two-week break for international. That'll do them a world of good. Because as far as I know, Itten hasn't been picked for the Swiss squad for their game. So that's okay for me. That means he can rest them.
I agree with that.
Was there no negatives for you at all in the game, boys?
Oh, you can pick on the odd
I just thought sometimes that Tavernier was a wee bit one-dimensional.
Funny enough, mate, I thought sometimes he didn't get the best of balls. He got the ball just a half a yard too slow, and then by the time he got it, they'd all shuffle door. You know, because it's a deliberate ploy, George, that they're trying to mark your two fullbacks.
I know that.
Aye. Deliberate. You could see Buck. He was actually marking Barisic. Did you notice that?
I know. Was that strange? Forward, thank you.
What did you think of the two new boys, George?
Honestly, they looked a wee bit rusty. At the end of the day, I thought they played well. I thought Ruth took his goal fantastically, man. The man he hit up the post and all was a cracker and all. I thought that was a goal of the day. The keeper was standing still. He rooted to the spot. But as the game came on, they just seemed to get a bit better, man. So I think this international break coming up, it's going to do us a world of good. I can't see. I just think they're just going to get better and better. And to get angry, to break his duck, I'm talking about. I'd like to see it in the score, you know what I mean? But you get a bit, you can see wee flicks, and all that man, dead flicks, man. It looks a quality player, you know what I mean? I feel sorry for Roof, man, having to go to Jimmy Bell about that at the back of his tap. You know what I mean? He's a bit too off before he goes to see him.
Well, it's not the first time Jimmy said his F and O's mixed up.
Did you hear about Clive Tilsley? I thought his sentence was brilliant.
Quality.
The magic number for Rangers this year is 55, not 10.
Aye,
it should always be about what we can achieve. I couldn't believe when I heard them say what we can achieve.
No, took him long, eh?
No, that was brilliant.
The thing is with Clive Tilsley, the thing is with Clive Tilsley, he's not really commentated in the game at Ibrox with a 50,000 crowd there, mate. Oh. I think you'll get a wee surprise with just how passionate our support are. You know?
It was the last bit of the sentence. I nearly fell off my seat. Did you hear it when he said about them, the puddle drinkers? I don't know if he says, and anyway, we weren't even in the Premiership for 4 of Celtic's 9 in a row years.
Aye, I heard that.
They had a 2-horse race to themselves, so that record doesn't really mean anything to us.
Aye, I thought that was brilliant. Well,
he's right, isn't he?
Aye. So it's only 5 in a row, and they're on it if you think about it. I thought, Jimmy Bell's taking him into the dressing room and had a wee talk to him. Brilliant.
Can I also
next to that 9th one?
Aye.
Can I also say how many people thought when John McLaughlin came into the club there that he would be honestly, seriously challenging Alan McGregor?
No.
No.
He looks comfortable in the goal, and his distribution is better than McGregor. I don't think he's as good a goalkeeper, to be honest with you, but he's a definite class backup for Alan McGregor, I think. And it'll be interesting as the season goes on to see who gets the most games, I think.
Who would have thought we would have brought in a replacement who would have been pushing Greeks?
Aye.
But so fair play. I've got to say that so far this season, go to George with this, George. I've got to say that Connor Golson looks like a different player.
Oh, 100%, man. He's pure, absolutely solid at the back, man. He wins everything. And he's by the way, see the kind of big long passes we were moaned about last year. He's funning his man with him this time. But ain't getting the box. He's just sneaking up, isn't he?
Yeah.
Definitely a player that's improved in the last couple of years. Improved not only in his play but in his confidence, and looks like the vice captain that he is. Very commanding at the back, and I think he's definitely, as I said earlier on, I think our choice of centre halves is good this year. So let's hope we have a right good season, not losing goals, wins you things.
JFK.
I've got to agree with everything that Fox said there. I mean, I have been a critic of Connor Golson last season, and we're hoping that he was going to come on to a game. And for me, it's like watching a different player, Oxshire. I think he's come on leaps and bounds. I know we're only at the 5th game of the season, but in the friendlies he was playing well as well. So I'm really pleased. I'm pleased with the back four. I mean, it's a back eight we've got when you think about the players that are still at their own the bench and in the treatment table and that. So Connor Golson, I think, didn't he sell a lot of good in favours? That jersey's his for somebody to come and take it off him after the criticism. I gave him pelters last season, mate, as you know. So hats off to him. He's playing really well now. So I hope that continues for the rest of the season.
Manager justified playing him then, Jimmy, regardless of what the support thought.
Oh, aye, definitely. I would go along with that, folks. I agree with you there. Aye, a few critiques about him. As I say, I was one of the biggest ones on here last season, and I felt that at time it was justified. But I've got no qualms about him this season. He's playing solid. He's reading the boys, passing is very good. So for him, let's hope it continues. But more so for us, mate.
Played some amount of games for us in a short space of time, Fox.
Without a doubt, after coming back for a serious operation, he's had to take his time in settling into Rangers when he first came, and he's never been out the team. And quite a lot of people, and I mean a lot of the support, doubted him. And he looks as though he could turn out to be as good as some of the centre halves we've had in the past, mate. He carries on.
George?
I totally agree with that. 100%. Every word they said, Fox and JFK said, every word they said, man, you could turn it to one of our all-time classics. Centre half, and I'm talking about, honestly. Guys, I mean, last year, I critiqued him and all last year because he did make a few errors last year, know what I mean? But this year, man, he seems to have buckled up, know what I mean? He's not making errors.
I'm sure as the week goes on, we might get Hodder Hallbear.
I was wondering.
You've got to be fair. If somebody's a bad game, in your opinion, you've got to say it, JFK. Somebody's a good game, you've got to say it.
Of course. That's what we've got today. You know, there's no use just hiding behind how you feel. You know, say what you feel. You know, if you watch the game and you feel somebody's not performing well, then you've got every right to say it. The same as if you think that they're magnificent. Say they're magnificent. And I think we've been really, really fair on here. Some I feel haven't been fair on every player, but that's everybody's got a different opinion of every different player. Some see it differently, and that's the beauty of it. But we all know that some see the game entirely different. And for me, anybody that says that Connor Golson isn't playing really well then they're watching the wrong game, mate. Because I think he's playing tremendously well now.
Tell you something, Oxshire.
Yes, mate.
I hope behind me, Shanklin has a pure blinder and scores about 4 goals a day. know what I mean?
I'll be quite happy if he scores one and they don't score any. I'm
Aye.
not
Tell me
greedy.
about it. Tell me about it.
I'm not greedy. Enough about what's your language on here, George?
Aye.
The rat catch on the top.
I think hopefully this, after the blipper last week, a real decent second half performance, Fox. Whoever's sitting in the league, a wee bit more positivity, hopefully, yeah. Once we learn how to spell roof.
Aye. I must admit, I mean, if Alfie's away, and according to some reports in the lobby that the manager has obviously spoke about him after the game, I'm sad that Alfie's left under a cloud, mate. I'd like to have seen him go out with a bang rather than this kind of way it's ending up, where the Rangers support will kind of turn against him because of the way it's ended up. For a guy that scored so many goals for us, it's just a shame. And I think we still need to go into the transfer market again for another striker if Alfie goes.
You
Yeah.
agree with that?
Yeah, kind of disagree with that, mate.
Right, that's midfielder.
I think we need 2 players minimum, and one's a midfielder. Because obviously, by the end, we need somebody to come in, maybe 27, maybe on a 3-year contract. Because at the end of the season, you're going to be short potentially Arfield and Davis, you know. So you've got to start planning, but the guy that comes in has got to be, if he's that age, he's got to be able to kick on and be competing to play in the first team JFK.
Aye, definitely. Yeah, well, the rumours there again that the Zunga's going out on loan to an unnamed club. They're not willing to name him, but I don't know how you guys would feel. Would you take Zunga? Seemingly he was a bit overweight when seemingly the Rangers inquired about him, but his manager says he doesn't want to play for us. For me, that's the type of player we're needing: a battling midfielder, a ball winner. We don't have that. And I still,
we don't need him today, but do we?
We don't need him today. You know, you're 100%. But obviously we're going to look further forward. You know, especially.
I'll rephrase that, Jimmy. We don't need that type today. You know what I mean?
I agree with you there. But I certainly agree with Fox, and the fact is that we need another striker. And I always said we need another striker, whether Alfie went or no. But more so, we need another striker. I mean, Jermaine Defoe again. I don't want to keep banging the same drum, isn't he? For me, he's way down the pecking order. It'll be interesting.
He's not even fit, mate.
He's not even fit.
Anyway, we've been joined by Robert. Evening, Robert.
Evening, Ox. Evening, Jimmy. Evening, guys in Rangers Radio.
You sound a lot happier than you did about 6 days ago. You all right?
Oh, mate, listen, I'm just one of these Rangers fans. Like, I hate when we drop points and we don't take the chances, etc. And I just go off in one.
You wear your hat in your sleeve, brother. You wear your hat in your sleeve.
Honestly, mate, that's just the way I am. I just want the best for my club, and I want us to be the way the Rangers were always. You know what I mean? Just get in there and fight and have players that give their all, what the fans give their all. But I've got to say today, well done to the Rangers, because you're coming up against a wall with that Kilmarnock, what that Livingston did, and of course the first half we're all disappointed with the first half, and people are maybe criticising guys like Brandon Barker and things like that. But I thought, be patient, and it came good, because you've got to remember we didn't have guys like Joe Aribo, Big Balogun, etc. Ree Morelos wasn't the other day. And so we've had a few of our players missing today, but I've got to say, man of the match by far, Ryan Kent. I thought Ryan Kent's outstanding. With this transfer talk with Leeds United, I thought it was outstanding. But I've got to give a special mention today to our defence. 1949, we went 4 or 5 games with conceding a goal. 1949, and we've achieved that today. And I've got to give a big shout out to Philip Hollander. But I'll be honest, I've not been his biggest fan because he's not very fast, he's not very quick. But for a guy who was out for 9 months and he's come in and he's played big parts like against Bayer Leverkusen, etc. Big Philip Hollander, I'll tell you by the way, I think we've got a cracker in him.
I tell you, you're right. It maybe looks his lack of pace, but he seems to stick the big long legs out and he just nicks the ball away. And, you know, he's a natural defender, Robert.
And you're definitely right, Oxen. And do you know what? And people might criticise me here. I see, but these signs of David Weir in him, if you know what I'm talking about. He reads the game so well. He reads the game so well, and I like that about him. And do you know what? I'll tell you one thing. See, big Philip Hollander had pace. We'd be putting him up there with Carlos Cuellar. That's all I'm going to say.
All right, but Goldston's playing well as well, eh?
Oh, mate, honestly, do you know, and like Jimmy was saying there a few minutes ago, and I was a bit of critic like Connor Goldston, and we've got to remember, as folks said, he had that heart operation, and he was out of football for 2 years, and I think that break, that coronavirus, I think that's done Connor Goldston the world of good, because he's played every single minute for Rangers, and I'll be honest with you, since the start of this season, I'll tell you one thing, we signed him for what, £3-4 million. How much is Connor Goldston worth? And I'll ask you, panel, let's compare him against one of that lot for the other side, because we have to compare against that lot. They talk about Ayer being worth 22 million. How much is Connor Goldston worth at this moment in time, guys?
Well, Connor Goldston's a better centre half than their two players. End of. JFK.
I got to agree with that, Robert. If I had to put a price in Connor Goldston, you'd need to start me at this moment in time at 10 million, mate. Start at 10 million.
Definitely, Jimmy.
That's how good I think he is. This time last season, I'd probably been able to give you a couple of million for him, but I just think the progress he's made since last season is absolutely fantastic. So, and as Oxshare, you said there, it's far better than what they've got there if we're going to do like for like. But for me, it's 10 million starting point, mate. Definitely.
And Jimmy, see the thing that's what I'm really hurts me and galls me when they compare all their players like that wee Forrest and I hate to mention the Puddle Bringers, but they compare their players worth 20 million upwards, and yet the Rangers.
Away for them, we won 2-0. This is a post-match show. Come on, back on the positives, Robert.
The positive is, as I say, Ryan Kent for me, big Connor Goldston and big Hollander. The wee boy Roof, great to see the wee boy Roof getting that goal today. And I don't think he looked his sharpest. He was dumbing balls and things like that. But you know what? He'll come on. And same with the big boy Eaton. He's given his all. The big boy Eaton, and we've got to give him time. And I'll say another positive. First half, Brandon Barker. I don't like him playing in the middle because I want Brandon Barker at 10. I want us to play two wide players, two wingers. And I thought the second half, Brandon Barker had actually no a bad game. And I know he's no every Rangers fan's favourite.
Credit's due, mate. He's done all right. We've got a caller coming in. We've been joined by Linda.
Hi, Ox.
Are you happy with that, Linda?
Definitely, really happy. A wee bit relieved, but just another 3 points. Really
this
good.
Is your groupie, JFK.
Oh, is it? Aye. Hi, Linda.
Hi, JFK.
Did you get that fiver?
She's gone all shy because JFK's on.
But Linda will not spend that tenner I gave her in the one show.
That'll not even get me a new handbag.
Oh, God.
Handbags. Big Stevie's your man to talk about handbags. Right, Linda, you nearly called it perfect. I think you went for 3, am I right?
I think I went for maybe 2, but hopefully it was going to be 3 or 4 if we got a goal in the first 15.
But we ended up with 2 actually flattered them, yeah. Second half, we played well, eh?
Yeah, we played well in the second half. I was a wee bit nervous at half time and thought, oh goodness, as Fox said, we've seen this movie before. But no, I thought even in the first half, without being spectacular, we were trying to push forward. I thought we were, shooting a wee bit more from outside the box, even varying the crosses. We had a couple of chances. I thought Kent was a wee bit unlucky with the one that he had. Just faking maybe driving in and then he had the shot, maybe just needed a wee bit more curve on it. I think Itten shot over, didn't he? And then we had Hollander at the header. But I think the only danger came from Kelly was when we were giving maybe like cheap sort of free kicks away and stuff and they were putting some balls into the box. But apart from that, it was fairly comfortable, but you just thought, we're going to get the breakthrough, and thankfully it came in the second half.
JFK, she's right.
As always, women are always right, but it's refreshing. It's refreshing to hear a lady on talking about football, and Linda, you've got it spot on. I've heard people talk on here, and some of them they don't know what they're talking about. I've got to 100% agree with everything you said, and took a lot of sense.
Don't put yourself down, JFK. That's my job.
And you critiqued the game there, fantastic. You know, we've all got to be pleased with the result of the day and the performance. There wasn't a bad player on the park, and it was 2-0, maybe going 4 or 5. We've got to manage to get a couple of these shots, especially the one for Ryan Kent. That was a fantastic shot, a great save. But really happy with the result. Definitely.
One of the things that pleased me, Linda, and I'll take this to Robert after you. I agree that Roof never looked, or Roth, whatever we're calling him now. I agree he didn't look 100% match fit. Good striker's finish and a good header that came off the post, and the goal was well beat. So he could have easily had a couple, which would have been a good start for the boys. Linda, then Robert.
Yeah, that's right, Ox. I think it was a really nice finish. I think I heard somebody saying earlier that maybe Alfie wouldn't have made that type of run and that kind of nice wee sort of neat flick. It was a wee bit like an Alan McCoy's type goal. And obviously he was unlucky with the header, but I was just delighted for him to get off, to get on the score sheet and get off the mark. And I think the commentary were just saying that they wished that maybe Itten had got a goal, but he put himself about a bit and he had a couple of chances too. So I was quite happy with the way that the two new guys played up front.
Robert?
Also, as I say, I don't mean to be critical to Kemar Roof, because I know he's not had much game time in the last 6 or 7 months, so you've got to take that into consideration. But don't get me wrong, his finish was fantastic. And I think through time, this boy will come good for us. I think this boy will really be good for us. And for him to score a goal, and you think about it, he's only maybe 80% there. So when he gets 100%, so I would say to the Rangers fans, don't be too, like myself, don't be too critical, because you're expecting so much more, because we've spent this, whatever, so many £1 million on Kemar Roof and the boy Itten. So you've got to be patient, because I remember a Rangers legend come to Rangers, Mark Catley, and it didn't work out from the first 6 or 7 months, and then all of a sudden he started scoring a few goals, and Mark Catley turned out to be a legend. So give the boy out in a bit of time, and I think these guys will come good for us. That's what I'm saying.
Time will tell, mate. Look, time will tell. I think they've done okay. Linda, we were talking about Connor Golson. What was your impressions of him today?
Yeah, I thought he kind of strolled the match, and I think Hillander's fitted right back in as well, because we're always a wee bit worried about his lack of pace. But there was one in the first half, I don't know, it was maybe the guy Brophy was through, and I thought he had a half a yard on him, and Hillander made up the ground and really covered himself and took the ball, made the tackle, and I thought that's good, because as we've said on numerous occasions, we're quite fortunate. We seem to have some good, centre backs. But the thing about Connor Golson is, you've got to remember he did make some mistakes last year that kind of cost us, Ox. And I think there's a wee bit of scar tissue there with some of the fans. But as Jimmy said, there, JFK said, "Sorry, Jimmy, I'm calling you your first name."
You're all right, I've been called worse.
Clean sheets, and you can't ask for any more from the defence, I don't think.
Here.
JFK, me and you, that's us finished. Fox, it's been good working on Rangers Radio. We've had a blast. I think we've found somebody to take your face.
Oh, they definitely. No,
I was just thinking that myself. I was looking through the rota there, and I can see a couple of names disappearing here.
Aye, definitely.
Where do you lasses come from? I've been shocked to meet a lassie like you.
Oh, right.
Your knowledge of football, all that, man, it's been a pure eye-opener. Otherwise, hate football.
George, you tell me yourself, did I'm about to ask you to go up to the 5 with me this Sunday night?
You're assuming she's that age, Robert. That wasn't very nice. She might be a lot younger than that.
I think it comes from being brought up in a household of football, and as I said, my brother played, and my dad, my mum, we were all brought up big Jers fans, all the family, and you actually didn't have like a lot of social media, and we only had the one television, so I'm showing my age here. So you had to watch the football, or it was nothing, you know.
You're all right. One TV, she's all right for a Saturday or Sunday, Robert. You're all right.
Wanda.
Yeah.
You didn't have to suffer the cricket, did you?
No, that's not a sport I've ever been able to watch. No, it's
Wait a
too
minute,
boring.
wait a minute. Zach Crawley made 260 today. Wait a minute, just... Look, great summing up. George, it was important today. Bridgeman, we had to get a victory. The bit of flair in the second half was a bonus, wasn't it?
Yeah, totally, 100%, man. I'm over the moon. Honestly, I'm really happy. A good display. First half kind of a wee bit not too good, but the second half completely, utterly bossed the game, man, and deserved to win. But even more than two, at least 3 or 4.
Yep, can't say it any better myself. JFK.
What a difference a week makes, innit? For last week to see what happened this week, you know, and like everybody on here, it's great to see the Rangers win the day, and there wasn't a bad performance, so we come away this night happy, and it's the next game's the biggest game now, isn't it, against Hamilton next week, so onwards and upwards, mate, onwards and upwards.
Fox, 2-0 flat Kilmarnock. I like for them, their worries to continue, mate. 2 points they've got, so where did they get them? No, however I go. What did that achieve?
Absolutely no. But I'm not getting carried away, guys. We've had a good start. We were down in the dumps last week. We need to keep results like this going for the rest of the season. The big games, I think, will be stronger in than battling against the minnows in the league, but they need to be beat. It's 3 points, the same as beating the Tims, mate, and we've got to maintain that to the end of the season.
Yeah. The big positives for you today, Robert?
Big positive, the 3 points and the big balance of Joe Rebo, didn't have Alan McGregor.
Oh, you're breaking up there. You're breaking up.
Right, big positive for me is onwards and upwards. Let's get 3 points against Hamilton. Let's go to the international break. And after that, we've got all these players like Joe Rebo, like Balogun, like Jermaine Defoe. We've got them all back. And let's take it on there for, two away games to Motherwell and to Hibs. And I'm confident we've got all these players back. But can I just say one thing before I go? And I'm hoping this isn't be Alfredo's last game. But see if it is be Alfredo's last game. To all the Rangers fans out there, let's get right behind the wee man. And I hope it's not his last game, but that wee man's done superb for us the last 3 games, the last 3 years. Let's not forget about his 4 goals down at Kilmarnock. When Stevie Clark turned it round and he started talking about sectarian abuse when we Alfredo scored 4 goals. His 2 goals against Aberdeen when he gets sent after the 4-2 games. Let's not forget Alfredo's goals against Feyenoord, against Porto, against Rapid Vienna when they changed us into Europa League group stages. So, to other Rangers fans out there, if it is Alfredo Morelos' last game, and I hope it's no, let's wish him all the best wherever he goes. Do you know what? Because he's done a great job for us, and we're not going to write things in war like Judas and all that, because the Rangers fans don't do that. The Rangers fans have got a bit of class about them. That's all I'm going to say, Ox, about Alfredo Morelos. Right. I love the wee guy, and I wish him all the best wherever he goes. And hopefully he doesn't go anywhere, and he stays with the Rangers.
All right, Robert, can you hang on after the tune, mate? Just hang on, yeah?
Yeah, mate.
All right, Wanda, you can sum up the day because you summed up everything else brilliantly. And can you hang on after the tune as well, Wanda?
Yeah, no problem.
All right, you sum up the day, yeah?
Well, I think probably we're just really glad we've got the 3 points. It's another win. We've just got to keep winning all the games. As Fox says, don't get too carried away. Real positives was we found a way to break them down, got the 2 goals. And another big positive for me was I thought Ryan Kent was man of the match. I know they gave it to Ruth, but I thought Kent played with his head up all day. There was a bright spark for most of the game, and you know that's the way that you put in a performance when there's speculation going on in the background. You go out and you just perform for the team that you're playing with.
Can I thank everybody who called in? Can I thank GFK and Fox for joining us on the show. This has been Rangers Radio. We'll be back between 8 and 10 on Monday, where we'll be joined by Port Bear and the Bridgeman. Thanks for everybody listening. Thanks to Old School Blue and Fox for doing the technicals. Everybody enjoy their weekend. Take it away, Old School Blue.
Now we beat the Boers in Africa, the Chinks of Kilmarnock, the Spaniards at Trafalgar and the French at Waterloo. We chased King James and all his gang in the battle of the Boyne. That's why the Glasgow jails were torn. Glory, glory, Glasgow Rangers. Glory, glory, Glasgow Rangers. Glory, glory, Glasgow Rangers. The jails go marching on. Now we've seen the Glasgow Celtic and Brazil and Argentina. We've seen the Leeds United and the Sure mighty team. We've seen the best in Russia from the Volga to the Don, but the jails go marching.